Hi there, Stan the Annuity Man, America's annuity agent, licensed in all 50 states. You know when you go to Google and you type in annuity pros and cons, and Google just lists everybody? Who do you trust? Do you trust who Google trusts? I mean, who are those people that show up? How does that all work? And how do you filter to find the right person, etc.? I'm glad you found me, Stan the Annuity Man, in these videos because I shoot it straight. I tell the facts about annuities, no sales pitch, even though I'm the top agent out here. But we're going to talk about Google, but not until I hear music. So we're talking about Google, and I was reading this morning before we went to the Stan the Annuity Man Will Do Not Might Do Studios about one of the founders, and they literally have so much money, they're like off the grid in some island in the Pacific Ocean. I have no idea what they're doing, but I guess if you've founded Google, you're pretty liquid. But Google kind of controls things from the standpoint, if you're just searching around, if you're typing in some questions in that Google bar, that bar, annuity pros and cons, and boom, all these people show up on the first page. Well, if you don't know how all of that works, it's a very profitable thing for Google. Google gets paid a lot of money. The companies that show up there they've done it a couple ways, but most of them have paid a lot of money to be there. So when you type that in, they've paid a lot of money to be on that first page. Now, I recently just typed in annuity pros and cons to see who showed up. It was pretty interesting. Most of the companies were like consumer companies, like Investopedia and those type of people. And that's fine. And they're giving general information about annuities, etc. But a lot of it is just so general. It doesn't help anything, because when you're looking for annuities, you're looking for specific answers for your specific questions about your specific circumstance. So how do you get there? Should you trust those places? It's not a bad thing to do research on any topic, especially annuities, but read as much as you can. What I would tell you to do is go to my site, theannuityman.com, sign up for my 6 annuity owner's manuals. I will ship them to you for free and under no obligation. No one's going to call you or show up at your doorstep, etc. But you have to understand both the good and the bad of annuities. What I have found, unfortunately, with a lot of financial journalists and a lot of these generic sites, they give you kind of a 30,000-foot view of annuities, and a lot of it's very uninformed. I think what sets me apart out here, number one, I've been doing financial services for a long, long time with all the major firms, Dean Witter, Morgan Stanley, Payne Weber, UBS, before I became the mythical Stan the Annuity Man. But I understand where annuities fit, where they don't fit, how you should use them, what they're designed for, what they're not designed for. And a lot of the information that you're getting on these Google pages, I think a lot of it's written by these bots. A lot of these companies, it's automated type stuff. Everything that I do, whether I write it in video, podcast, we have a Fun with Annuities podcast as well, that comes out every week. It's me. It's me and my decades of experience understanding how these products work. I'm not saying you trust me. You really shouldn't trust anything but the contract, because annuities are contracts. So be very careful out there, because like any sales environment, you're going to hear what people think you want to hear to get you to buy something. That's not with me. I can honestly say, if you go to my site at theannuityman.com, it's the only place where annuities are bought, not sold, truly. And the only way for me to call you is for you to schedule a call and say, hey, Stan, call me at this time. I'll call you right on the money. There's a book a call link at the top left-hand corner of our page at theannuityman.com. But Google does a good service by providing the information. What I tell you is to go deeper than page 1, go to page 2 and page 3, because people like me, I'm not spending money, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to be on that first page. It's more important to me to spend the money on videos, great studios that's shooting the videos, my editors, the people that are producing my podcast, so you can get real content, so you can make an informed decision on your terms and on your time frame. Now, what we're trying to do with these videos is when you type something in, whether it's indexed annuity or immediate annuity or inherited annuity, or what does Dave Ramsey say about annuities, or whatever it is you want to type in, we are trying to be proactive and make videos that answer those questions. Now, if you don't see me popping up on a video on the Google search, then shoot me an email, stan@theannuityman.com, or underneath me here on this YouTube video, type in a question, and we might do a video just on your question. We do that a lot, and people get famous on the Stan the Annuity Man channel. So I encourage you to use Google. Love the people at Google. They're rich. I wish I had like a day's worth of their money, but they have provided a very good service out there. What I want you to understand is for profit. And some of the people that are showing up, might not have the best intentions, or are just a general site like an Investopedia site that really gives you the 30,000-foot view. You need to get down in the weeds. You need to see the policy. You need to understand the quotes. You need to get quotes. You need to know how it's going to fit and help your specific situation. Hey, another thing about these Google searches, you go to Investopedia, or maybe an article pops up by Smart Asset or Credit Karma, or one of these really good sites that's kind of general. The people writing those articles on annuities aren't annuity experts. They're not in the weeds. They don't represent carriers. They don't talk to customers. They don't have clients in all 50 states. They're not in it. They're not experts. They're just writing general because the next article they might write would be on stocks or bonds or ETFs or a REIT or something. No, I'm all annuities all the time. So, when you see those sites, I like them. If they were smart, they'd come get me to write. They'd have to pay me a lot, but I digress. Let's talk about annuities pros and cons just a little bit, because that's what I typed in originally to the Google bar, and all this stuff popped up, and I'm thinking, man, that's something we need to kind of address. Annuities are not for stock market growth, in my opinion. No offense to the variable annuity people out there. I just think you can buy mutual funds and do better. Annuities are transfer risk contracts. The pros are you can transfer risk. You can solve for principal protection. You can solve for lifetime income. You can solve for legacy. You can solve for long-term care or confinement care. The cons are they're contracts, and you have to understand the contracts, and every single contract on the planet has benefits and limitations. Every single type of annuity out there has benefits and limitations. And if it sounds too good to be true, it is every single time with the annuity category, regardless of what type of annuity. And yes, there are many types. You just can't say I hate all annuities or I love all annuities. There's many different types of annuities. I would encourage you to go to my site at theannuityman.com and get the books. We'll ship them to you for free if you give us your shipping address. But there are pros and cons to annuities. And when I typed that into the Google spacebar, I didn't really get the pros and cons. I got Annuity 101 and all this stuff, but that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for a specific solution for a specific need that you think you need to contractually solve for. That's where we come in. Hey, I appreciate you joining me on the Stan the Annuity Man YouTube video, and I encourage you to go to my site at theannuityman.com, schedule a call with me. I am not going to be mean and disrespectful, I promise. I'm just going to shoot it straight, get my books, and by the way, on my site, the best annuity calculators on the planet. You can use them 24/7, 365, run the numbers yourself without having to talk to anybody. That's a good thing. Hey, remember, theannuityman.com is where annuities are bought, not sold. I'll see you on the next Stan the Annuity Man video.